You know, Smash tier lists have always fascinated me, especially during first impressions of something's lifespan. For example, look at where people put King K Rool in most of their tier lists back in the beginning of Smash Ultimate. He was pretty damn broken, everyone feared him. And then we have the current official tier list of Ultimate today, and yeah, the king has seen better days. After exploiting his weaknesses and slowness as a heavy, he quickly plummeted to being another bad heavy character in the Smash series. But that didn't stop me. No. I have always stayed faithful to my beloved Kremlin King, that no tier list in the world would ever rip me away from his glory. Even though most people would say otherwise, King K Rool can be an absolute bastard if used properly. The king has plenty of tools in his kit, and many tricks to make your opponents want to kowtow to his might. So today, allow me to teach you the art of being an absolute fat bastard. First thing to be aware of King K Rool is that he is, in fact, a terrifying beast, who would make most people too intimidated to even face his majesty, causing the weak to kill themselves upon facing your sheer, dominating presence. K Rool's fat bod is usually a disadvantage, making him combo food for most characters, but the king makes use of it, as his belly can bounce away any brainless baby that dares to enter your boundaries. His nair is your life support. I'm honestly convinced this move is the one thing that's making him not the absolute worst character in this game, because it has saved me from some absolute bullshit that most characters shouldn't get away with. You can edge guard with it, land on stage with it, interrupt combos with it, start your own combos, end your own combos, make your opponents want to kill themselves with it. Just fucking spam it at this point. Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot stress enough, this is your go-to move for nearly any situation. Use this move whenever you can, and I promise you, you will find success. Not only that, it has the added benefit of you, in fact, being royalty, and proving that money does indeed buy you happiness, because K Rool's golden belly armor is another factor of him not being the absolute worst character in the game. Okay, maybe he is pretty bad. His F-tilt, where he just claps your cheeks, is another vital tool to K Rool's kit as well, mainly because he, once again, is protected by his belly armor. But the move is also decently quick as well, and pivot F-tilt is a great substitute for dash attack if your opponent has a chance to shield. K Rool's glorious golden gut really gets people's gears grinding, because sometimes you can just decide that people just won't hit you. Just don't be stupid with it. If you see a strong attack coming your way, just use counter at that point. It will save you wonders. Speaking of his golden gut, hey, check out his down smash! Alright, listen, this move has been praised and objectified to hell and back. Everyone is aware how stupid this move can be, so let's just move on to something other than his golden belly. Such as his golden crown, baby! People seem to forget that you are, in fact, the king. So sometimes you gotta knock some sense into them and chuck your chaplet into their chest, reminding them who the champion is. Not only can this move give K Rool the distance he desperately needs to cover, it also can work well in saving your ass when it returns back to you in a sticky situation. And if you're really good, you can even use the knockback of the crown when it returns to you, letting it hit your opponent towards you, using that opportunity to follow up and do some pretty sick combos with the crown. Too bad I'm not good at this game. And if you want to pack more of a punch, his blunderbuss is a great projectile too. While the cannonball itself is marvelous to hit opponents with, it's not nearly as satisfying as it is to use its other function. Oh yes, ladies and gentlemen, I know it may have been a while since you've heard of it. The legends of the technique may have been buried in the past, but allow me to reintroduce you to a strategy as old as time. Ladies and gentlemen, the socket! While yes, using the forbidden technique is still practical, its use is very situational and can be hard to hit, especially if your opponent isn't a teething toddler. However, there exists a much more useful technique for K Rool's blunderbuss that can be used on most stages. As long as it's not Final Destination, because that stage sucks anyways. Allow me to introduce a new technique to the table. Allow me to present to you The Phantom Suck. Step 1. If your opponent is off stage, shoot at your beloved blunderbuss on the ground. Step 2. Jump up on the platform and hold out your sucking until you physically can't anymore. Step 3. Now that your opponent is pressured by the slow cannon floating above them and the vacuum of doom above them, they will almost never want to jump up from this state, wanting to either roll or get up and punish you for foolishly holding out your sucking machine. Step 4. Phase through the platform and catch them foolishly going inside of your sucking machine and blow them out harder than your mom does to me daily and beat the shit out of them for being so stupid! And yes, you saw that correctly. If you hold out K Rool's massive suck on the platform, you can actually go through it and suck in any unsuspecting idiot who dares step foot in your domain. And you don't even have to do this only on the ledge. You can make your opponents feel even dumber if you just whip it out on center stage at random. Use this technique wisely, however, as anyone who's smart enough to chew on their own food will adapt to it if there's constant use of the technique. And with all of that, you should now be able to master the king himself and prove to the world what it's like to be royalty. Just don't go up against this guy, or else you might be fucked. But no matter what tier lists say, going with characters you genuinely enjoy playing as is far more respectable than going with all the top tiers. So just mess around, and who knows, you might even go far with them. And bring others to bow down to your might. Also, his down tilt is almost a guaranteed kill all the time. Use it all the time, I promise you!